but we have to make something clear. These are just opinions, so don't take it personally. Just because we don't like it, you can still be happy. Enjoy what you like, you're an adult. Yeah. BWN Productions, masks, bus, props, and costume work. If you want a monster name, contact BWN Productions. Fast custom shirts, hundreds of t-shirts, all at reasonable prices. If you need custom work, contact Fast Custom Shirts. Grab a cold one and get ready for the show. It's intended for mature audiences because we kid and joke. Boy God is here and so is Tom and Joe.
That was just fantastic. Always pumps me up to hear that, Joe.
It's quite nice, Tom. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I was working on a remix of the BOYGOB Boys for the big spooktacular show this year. Not going so well.
Hmm.
Blew through hundreds of credits to not have anything, but I got kind of bored and irritated. So I made a song that I thought it was just gonna be, oh, this will be a quick, just slop together shit. It wasn't. It took a couple hours, and it's only kind of funny. Maybe you'll hear it sometime.
Well, kind of is a lot better than most of the shit out there, so fuck it.
Right on. Yeah, so hello to everybody on YouTube and the podcast feed and not Facebook. I got a message today saying I wasn't allowed to go live on Facebook for a month and I can't post in groups for a week or something and all this other stuff. And I said, all right, what is this about? Whew. So old Eric, Chocoholic Eric,
Mm-hmm.
he made a post like, oh, hey, I'm finally gonna watch fear.com. And I said, oh, I remember this being pretty terrible. Isn't like the website in the actual movie fear.com.com? And I guess that links you to some kind of, hey, buy steroids or something. So Facebook thinks I'm dealing drugs on their social media platform. So they gave me some restrictions there, Joe.
So they restricted you, right? Your personal page, but don't you do this through the?
It's linked up to it, but I mean, you're the one who set it up, so I don't know. I tried. I tried to set, no, it wouldn't let me. And that happened before on StreamYard too. When
Yes, one of the options it gave me to log in was through Facebook. So I wonder if I'd have done that, if it would have streamed that automatically or not.
I don't know, probably not because it's like set up through my account or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know, but that's silly shit. Like, sure, robots are awesome to make music and shit. Not too good for, scanning for things to see if it's really ban worthy or not.
Yeah.
So, whatever. It is what it is. We just won't have any comments today, Joe.
Well, then I can turn my phone back sideways then, because I figured, oh, hold on. If I put my phone like the regular way, when you talk in it, then I can see all the comments below. So.
Gotcha. Well, how was your week? Did you have one? Oh shit. You sound a little hoarse or like you've been sucking on one.
Yeah, it was we had Lisa's party shindig thing. And yeah, I guess I started feeling ill that night, ill, poorly. Maybe it was better the other way, Tom. Yeah. And the next morning I woke up and it was just coughing continuously, which I'm still getting that every once in a while. My voice sounds a whole lot better than it did yesterday. Yeah, I was real fucked. I lost my glasses during the party somewhere. I'm thinking somebody like accidentally took them home or something and is just like embarrassed to say anything. Or maybe it wasn't one of my friends that would know. Maybe it was one of Lisa's and they're like, fuck, I took somebody's readers and just threw them away. You know, not the cheapest glasses, but well, I shouldn't have got them ever anyway. So back to using my prescribed reading glasses, which I don't know. It's all fine. It's all bullshit.
Did you look in the grass?
I looked everywhere.
You know where it probably is?
No, or else I would have looked there.
Well, I'm sure it'll be the last place you look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Funny how it works out like that, huh?
Yeah. But that was it. You know, back to work this week. And in between the coughing, I'm printing shirts and shit. And that's it, really. You know? I was just wondering how your week was going. That's all that's been like on my mind. Man, I hope Tom's having a good week.
You know, I finished a sculpture today and I took a little extra time to make sure it was all smoothed out and looking nice. And then I get it outside and not spray paint it, but put some clear gloss on it for getting ready to mold. So, ain't as smooth as you thought it was there, Tommy. I think you need some new light bulbs in that shop. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So yeah, this one's gonna come out looking fucking terrific and swell, but I think with the paint job I have planned for it, it might hide it. But yeah, I need to get some new light bulbs. I've been putting it off for a while because they're very expensive and I've been having to spend money on a lot of stuff. And those sales taxes are coming up. They're not coming up, they're here. So I did that, and a couple days ago, we had some guys come out to do some work and get a new door installed and a vent that vents out through the roof. The dudes showed up. They weren't really sure what they were here for. They thought they were going to replace 2 doors, and I was just like, "No, it's a door and a vent." Oh, okay, that's good. And during the day, one of the owners of the business comes to like check on everything and help out maybe. He's not really sure what's supposed to happen or go on. Like they're putting the door on, and I'm just like, shouldn't you paint that first? It's like, what? I didn't think we were supposed to paint this, and looks it up. Oh yeah. So they just kind of slop fuck some paint on just like the front of the door. Oil-based paint, and they left at 7, so it's dark now. So, we just got the door open, this paint drying, and I was like, it's about time to go to bed. So I shut the door and try and lock it. Huh, none of these locks work. So I take the shit off to try and fuck with it. Then I just start noticing how shitty this paint job is and how this is all fucked up and this is all fucked up. And I'm just like, man, I will just deal with this in the morning. And I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to send this dude a text and let him know it was fucked. Like the door we like the foundation was fucked up on the house, so the door was like,
Yeah.
and that's why we were getting the door replaced. So they put the door on, and I look at it shut, or I was outside. So I was looking at the door from the outside, like looking at the inside, and I saw like light coming through exactly. So I was just like, dog, this shit is all fucked up. So long story short, it was all fucked up. Both owners came out and redid the shit themselves. What they had scheduled one day, the vent in the back door, took them 2 days, and tomorrow they'll be back to clean everything up. So, do it right the first time so you don't have to deal with this. 'Cause I don't know if these were guys who worked for them. They, it's just a couple dudes showed up and yeah, I don't know.
Where did you find the initial guys to begin with?
I was just looking up general contractors in the area, and then maybe they went to look for general contractors at Home Depot, if you get my meaning.
That's what general contractors tend to do these days. So yeah, you don't know what you're fucking gonna get. Yeah, it's shitty, but better, more expensive. But you go with a specialized, like a door person, and they'll probably do it right the first time.
I mean, they did it right this time when the owners of the company actually did it themselves.
Yeah,
Hey, it's fucked up when two white guys have to come and fix the problem. But yeah, it seems like it's good, and it sucks. They had to come back and we had to fucking be here and just like waste our times while they fucking redid this shit. But it was a reputable business. They could have said, no, I'll get fucked or
yeah,
whatever. But they said, oh no, this is fucking terrible and we'll make it right. So
no good.
that was good, but still, now it's gonna be like 2.5 days. We got to put aside for shit that was already supposed to be done, but it's done, and don't have to worry about it anymore now. So, but yeah, that was not awesome. Then that damn sculpture. Need to get those fucking $100 light bulbs, Joe.
You
Need
should.
like 4 of them. Fuck. Oh shit! I watched some movies, Joe. How about you?
I watched a few, probably not as many as you, as usual. Hey, thank you, Hordecast Live, saying they'll share to Facebook for us.
I appreciate that shit. I did post a link on the page, but no one cares. No one cares, but that's okay, Joe. We're still here. We're still doing it because this review coming up, it's gonna take us places, Joe.
Right.
Fuck. Let me finish this off and we'll talk about Hellboy the Crooked Man.
Oh, the Crooked Man. I think I've read that comic.
I'm so sorry. All right, Joe. I just watched the hit motion picture in the UK because it wasn't released in US theaters. It was released straight to VOD today, and it is a Hellboy, the Crooked Man. Have you heard of it, Joe?
I have heard of this one, Tom.
So I'm a fan of the Hellboy movies. The first one came out at the right time for me. I was fucking super into makeup effects and creatures and shit. Still like creatures and makeup effects and all that shit, but now I'm a jaded old man who's been doing this shit for 19 years. So I'm not going to go to any movie that just has a monster in it because it has a monster in it. But that's besides the point. So I even liked the third one. I know you didn't, but I thought that one was pretty good. This one there, Joe, oh boy. Have you seen any of the promotional material related to this movie?
Just maybe like a headshot.
So you know what Hellboy looks like?
Yeah.
So I was hoping that my only big gripe with this movie, which wouldn't even be a big gripe, is man, would have been nice if they put a big piece of foam on that jaw. That's really all we need is just like, a big puppet jaw because, he's not big like in the Guillermo del Toro movies, like in the comic books.
Yeah.
In this movie, he's about that size, but even if that's your style, how you draw, he needs that fucking jaw. You know what I'm saying? This guy doesn't have it, and that wasn't the only problem with this movie, Joe. uh Hellboy kind of comes off like Mickey Rourke Marv,
Yeah. Okay.
probably from the second movie, because the first movie, his part's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just kind of talks like this the whole time. I'm
Mm.
Hellboy, and I smoke blunts. Every other shot of me is me lighting up a blunt, which still not cigarettes. One of these days, maybe we'll get Hellboy smoking cigarettes like in the comics, but
Yeah.
not in this one. He's just smoking blunts. But fuck, man. Those pictures in the trailer were an accurate depiction.
Okay. Well, give us some story. What's this shit about?
I was gonna say Spider-Man. Hellboy and Asian lady and white guy. They're on a box car. It's 1959, and they're transporting a spider back to BRPD, BPRD, one of those things, headquarters, so they can study this spider. But this spider gets so big. Oh my God, Hellboy's got to fight it in this little box car, and it bites off the white guy's head, and it's so spooktacular. And then just this single box car separates from the rest of the train and falls down a hill while the rest of the train continues to drive away. Because that's how that shit works. So yeah, they're trying to get this spider, and the spider goes to like a little sewer line in the middle of the woods. They explain it like, "Oh yeah, we're in Appalachia, and these are old mining tunnels." All right, sure. So then they're walking around trying to find a phone. They find your average Appalachian white people. Another guy shows up, Tom Appalachian, and he's just like, "Oh, boom, the bird all on the bar." You fucking like half of the shit these Appalachian fuckers say, you can't understand shit, dude. It was like that fucking idiot from Pumpkins, where you couldn't understand what he was saying. Ridiculous. So this dude's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a witch." "Oh, how convenient. We handle witches and shit. We don't have anything better to do. Let's go with you." So they do, and it's just a bunch of witch shit. The crooked man, he's the devil or something. Who cares? Uh yeah. After none of the fucking Hellboy movies have been like, oh, these huge, huge movies with billions of dollars thrown at them. But they made them feel like they were these pretty big,
Yeah.
epic movies. You can't have those and then go to this little quaint folk horror movie where it's just some guy airbrushed red wearing a little bit of foam romping around in the woods. It just doesn't work. Like, this felt like something that should have came out 20 years ago, but the first Hellboy movie came out 20 years ago. So maybe this was like a edgy 90s Crow style Hellboy movie. But
Does entire thing take place in the 50s?
Yeah, but they're just romping around the woods, fucking with witches, so it really doesn't matter.
Right.
It does come off very fan film, like all the promotional stuff did. Not good. There's some parts that are like laughably bad. So I mean, at least there was that. Got a little enjoyment out of that. Uh, CGI is not good. Yeah, it's I don't know why they thought this would work, but no. Like, sure, it might be closer to the comics, but at this point, who wants bootleg fucking little I mean, it's just so cheap, and you can't have this quaint little folk horror movie after you've done monsters, monsters everywhere. You climb on cogs and oh, demons and vampires. I can't believe it, Samuel. You you can't. I mean, even compared to the last one where people were like, "Oh, this is cheap bullshit." They were just like, "Huh, I'll show you cheap bullshit, you fuck." And they did, Joe. They did. Yeah, just I wanted to, like, I was hoping I was hoping I'd be like, "Yeah, that was pretty good. They coulda used some foam on his chin, but besides that, that was pretty." No. Uh, oh, shit. I was gonna say, Joe, you'll love it, but it's not. This movie tries to be so cool, like, so badass and cool. It's directed by one of the dudes who did, like, the Crank movies, and I think maybe one of the Ghost Riders, the one where he, like, pisses fire in a weird shot where it's just, like, him in black, and it just looks like CGI clip art of him pissing fire, but whatever, like, man, they want you to think this movie is, like, so cool, but it's not. They have, like, all these weird wide angle shots where, like, shit's blurred out and a lot of lens flares just to add style to I mean, you can fucking spray crystal clear on a piece of shit and it'll make it shiny, but fuck no, man. Like, I really like those Hellboy movies, all of them. The comics, they're all right. You gotta really like that art style to stick with it, and it's just kind of okay. The cartoons were cool, but I mean, those were like sequels to the movies and shit. But
Yeah, I enjoy the comics. Mignola, he's not the best writer though. It's like I get it. He's got this style and everything, but the BPRD comics, those are fucking badass.
well, that's just like kind of characters by him and someone else writes them or something,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carducci wrote like the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 volumes, and those are great. And it's got like a big story with all those people, and I don't know, Hellboy's not in them, and they explain that somehow because I don't
Because
remember
there's all these different people who work there, and it's not focusing on him.
exactly. It's like fuck off, Hellboy. We got this shit. Yeah.
Stories of the Screw-On Head Man. Oh, terrific.
Right. I think that's its own thing altogether, and so is the Abraham Lincoln thing. But
Shit, speaking of Abraham Lincoln, that's what this crooked man looked like. He looked like undead Abraham Lincoln. He
oh, so
collect
Lance Henriksen maybe now.
No, I mean like legit undead Abraham Lincoln with the top hat and just the beard, and he collected pennies. Each penny is a soul, you see, my boy. But he said it more Appalachian and shitty. And then this was terrific, though. Hellboy shot him in the head, so we got to see Lincoln get fucking assassinated twice.
I wonder, shit, is this the one that Richard Corbin did the art for? I don't remember, but I think it's a comic. I think it was a miniseries or something.
Like I said, I didn't get too deep into the Hellboy comics, but I mean, probably more of the feel of the comics because the Del Toro movies, those are Del Toro movies. Those are way more extravagant than the fucking comics were, at least the ones that I seen.
Yeah, he took a lot of shit from the comics. The whole thing with Rasputin and then him carrying that dude on his back. Those are all straight from
Well, I know, but the giant robots with the cogs and the vampires and shit, was that from it?
Golden Army. That was all Del Toro's stuff, I think.
Yeah. That's what I'm like, how he makes it bigger, like
Yeah,
how that's what I'm trying to say, but I'm dumb, you see.
grander.
There you go. Grande.
Más grande.
But yeah, man, I wanted to, but I think it's gonna make a list, dude.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Or maybe
But
it's we need to make them lists.
you might like it, but probably not. I think the stylized bullshit will fucking turn you off, but it is like a low budget something IFC Films probably would have put out early 2000s folk horror shit.
So did you know this was coming out?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Like this was a surprise to me. It seemed like it was a surprise to a bunch of people. But just seeing the pictures, it's like, hey, this is going straight to video.
No, it wasn't supposed to.
And that's what they're saying. But
Like a week or two ago, they finally released the US release information. Like people were thinking theaters, because everywhere else in the world, or where they released it, it was released to theaters. But nah, that promotional material is true to form and VOD style. Dump it on there.
um,
Sorry, my nose itches.
yeah, seeing all, not everybody, the few people that we're talking about, it did make me want to go back and watch those two Del Toro movies again, though.
The first one's cool. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. Samuel's cool, Abe and the Hellboy makeup's cool. It's just when people think of the Hellboy movies, they think both of them are like the Guillermo del Toro ones. They're both like the second one, because the second one has all the monsters and the fucking big shit and everything. But the first one's a little tame, still good. But the second one's the one to do, just because of all the fucking creatures and all that goofy shit. And you don't like the third one, but I think that one's pretty good, even though Hellboy looks like some weird kind of fucking ugly, what's that fucker's name? The British dude who does Lobo.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Beasley. He looks like a fucking Beasley sketch, the fucking Hellboy from the third one. But yeah, this one. But in a few years, check out fucking All the Haunts Be Ours, Volume 11, and it'll be the headlining movie that they promote hard as fuck to sell the thing. Oh man, I wanted to so bad. Like the Crooked Man, he just looks like a sculpture. Like it doesn't look like a makeup or anything. It just looks like a sculpture. And you've seen Hellboy, it looks fucking whack. Like that jaw would have helped out so fucking much. But...
yeah, just a dude with horns. You've seen.
Oh, and that shit looks like a hat. Because how they have the hair and how they did the skeletal structure and shit, it looks so cheap. It's like he's wearing a Hellboy horn hat. Old school fucking Frankenstein shit. Sorry, old school Frankenstein's monster shit. But yeah, man, that was had a few good laughs, so unintentional. But Oh, Blind Melon Chitlin's in it too. So come for Hellboy, stay for old Blind Melon.
I always stay for Blind Melon.
All I can say is that my life is really plain. Fuck yeah, the gay 90s. All right, we'll go jump in a lake, Crooked Man. That's all right. 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
It's gonna be half the show right here. Yeah. So Tom, I watched a movie that not a lot of people were talking about, but enough were that we're saying, man, this is just fucking brutal. God damn. This is what we've been waiting for, us slasher fans. I'm not a slasher fan, but you know what? I'll give it a watch. Especially if it's violent. You know, if it's in a violent nature, I'll give it a watch, Tom. Have you heard of this film?
Joe, not only have I heard of this film, I watched this film.
Hell's a poppin'. You watched it. Okay, for those of you that haven't, let me tell you all about it. All right? This starts out with some pricks out in the woods, and they come across a fucked up fire tower. What's a fire tower? I don't know. I don't live in the woods. But there's a locket hanging there. And they're telling a story about, I don't know, some fucking
Spooky Jimmy.
we'll call him an autism. Okay? He's an autism that I don't know. Something happened. They killed him.
He's an autism that, you know, has a fully functioning brain that can set all these traps and trick people
And
and knows exactly where to go and what to do.
so anyway, they take the locket. After they do that, some fucking prick starts crawling out of the ground, you know, and then he just starts walking. And he keeps walking. And fucking walking. Then eventually he kills someone. Then he does some walking, Tom. Oh, he's the walking dude. You know, he's walking here and we're just behind him. You know, you ever play like video games, like where you're just walking and you got to get to a place and maybe along the way something attacks you and you fight it? Well, nothing attacks him. You know, he's just walking. And after that, Tommy does a little more walking. And oh shit, let me kill somebody in this gruesome way. I'm gonna, I don't know, pull their head out and pull it through their body. It was all right to me. You know?
So a lot of people, that was their main thing of this movie. Oh, this is the most gruesome, wildest death. You gotta see it. It's so crazy. It looked very cheap. They showed that dummy a lot more than they should have. If they would have, you know, shown a little more of the actual human actress and a little less of that dummy, it would have helped, but it just came off looking very rubbery and cheap.
Very rubbery. It was just like gelatinous, moving around. Didn't fucking look good. I wasn't into this movie, so I can't say it took me out of it. But goddamn, there's a lot of walking in this movie. The majority of the movie is following this guy walking from victim to victim. And yeah, they give him a backstory. He's fucking a Jason that's indestructible. They can't kill him. He's a Michael Myers. You can't kill
Yeah,
evil.
he's a Jason.
Yeah, he's the same. He's all, no, it's all bullshit. And it's, I mean, after I posted a little review of it, a lot of people were saying, yeah, this is fucking boring. This is fucking boring. Well, where the hell were you? Why didn't you come out before this and say this sucked? You know, maybe I wouldn't have watched it after that, but fuck. Walk, 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 walk.
I liked it a little more than you did. The walking didn't really bother me. 'Cause, you know, there was a little nice scenery when he killed that yoga lady. It was just like, oh, it looks kind of nice. And I think the scene where he's like walking under the water to drown that bitch, that had some tension to it.
Hey,
Uh,
cut that out. Got a new puppy, you see. He's trying to eat the fucking carpet. Go walk.
that's your job. Go walk. So, yeah, I thought that scene was pretty decent. But, I like the Friday the 13th movies and Jason because I have nostalgia for that. I don't really care about Spooky Jimmy or whoever this guy was. It was a decent idea, follow the killer around. Uh
A day
it
in the life kind of thing, huh?
Yeah, it's different while being exactly the same. If you're a slasher fan, like a hardcore slasher fan, you'll probably dig it. There's kills and there's stuff in there, but yeah, it was whatever. It was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm right in the middle, and that's probably the worst place to be for a movie. But yeah, the ending, like the last 15 minutes is kind of tacked on. Like this lady's just saying, "Oh, some people, they're like animals and they just kill." So are you calling autistic people animals or what the fuck is the point of this last 15 minutes? Cuz nothing happens. It's like it's an A24 Friday the 13th movie. Um it's fine. It is a Jason clone. It's fucking dumb that there was just this locket out in the open hanging from a branch or a twig or a stick stuck in the ground that was the only thing keeping Spooky Jimmy or Fred, whatever, Johnny. I think his name was Johnny.
I don't remember.
Keeping this thing in the ground, but yeah, again, seems like something IFC would have released 20, 25 years ago. It looks like it too. This doesn't really look like a new movie, and that's not saying, oh, they made it look retro and a throwback. No, it just kind of looks like they used old equipment. Like I said, something that would have came out in the, mid 2000s or so. Whatever. The guy's next movie might be interesting.
Maybe, but this one's making a list for me.
Yeah, if you're a slasher fan, check it out. No one else is really gonna give a fuck. It's like I said, it's different, but it's the exact same shit. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Well, I watched the 2024 hit motion picture. This was one of your favorites, Joe. I think it's on a list, as you say. But it's called Sting, the Australian movie that didn't want you to know it was an Australian movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was whatever. It was an average creature feature movie. Everyone's talking in shitty American accents through their nose. And that took me out of it, and it's just basic whatever. I would say watch Mosquito or Ticks instead.
But those
Again,
24 movies, Tom.
they're not, but they are better. Again, this is just, a very middle of the road 2.5 for me. Yep. That was a movie. All right. There's no reason to get into it because you already have like a 24-minute review on the thing, but
Yeah, you can go back and watch that. I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it. It'll probably be on a list.
for me, No, not neither way. So that's probably not, again, probably not good.
Yeah. Huh?
Oh shit.
Uh,
What the, oh no, I'll save that for you. I watched the hit motion picture The Deliverance. Have you heard of it?
yeah, that's with Nate Beatty. He goes to the woods and gets fucked by some hillbilly types.
No, that's Hellboy, the Crooked Man.
Ah,
This is The Deliverance, not to be confused with Deliverance.
mm,
So this one's about an alcoholic mom. She's moving around. There's a social worker that comes and checks on her and her kids cuz she's a fucking drunk. She's got, I don't know, 15ish year old son, uh, daughter a couple years younger than that, and then another son a couple years younger than that. And it turns out that their house is haunted, and the young kid's possessed by a demon. Oh my god. And then they get this lady finds them and says, "Oh, your house is possessed, your child's possessed, and I'm gonna save you guys. Don't worry, this is nothing like the movie The Exorcist, because I'm not an exorcist, you see." Oh, this movie was terrific, Joe. This was made by the gentle fellow who directed our one of our favorites here on the show, Precious. You remember that one? So it's ridiculous bullshit like that. Figure that fucking guy making a horror movie. So it's about a bunch of black people, except for the fucking lady's mom, who's played by Glenn Close. And there's nothing more that this character loves, played by Glenn Close, is black dick. She can't get enough of it, Joe. Every other scene, she's just trying to get it in her ass, mouth, wherever the fuck she can. And it's terrific. What would be called a career defining performance. Oh, this movie was terrific. If you like to giggle at bullshit and just laugh and laugh and laugh, this'll do it. This will do it. There's one point this little kid's possessed by a Pazuzu, and he's in the middle of the class, drops his pants, shits on the floor. The teacher's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And the kid slops a handful of shit in her open mouth. Ridiculous. Oh, Netflix, the sign of quality. So yeah, if you like to laugh at ridiculous bullshit, The Deliverance would recommend. It's gonna make a list. No, but I'll probably mention it again.
all right.
Because yeah, that's I'm not an exorcist. Oh, okay. I thought you were ripping off that other movie for a second, Abby, because you're all black. But oh, terrific. Terrific.
So I watched a movie called Scanners.
Sorry, I wouldn't be doing this justice if I didn't mention Glenn Close's character. She has cancer. So there's like an apparition of her with like all her hair falling out, but then they put like slight burn makeup on her with those blackout contacts and like the shittiest fake sharp teeth you've ever seen. And the black lady who's not exercising her but delivering her, Glenn Close, in this fucking spooky Baba Yaga makeup, goes, I can smell your nappy pussy. Give this fucking bitch another Oscar, please. And spray paint it black so she can suck it. Please go watch The Deliverance. It's fucking awesome. The best. Maybe it will make a list. Maybe it will make a list. I don't know what it is with these old bitches coming out of fucking the retirement home to do wild ass shit. But you know, we had Demi Moore, now Glenn Close. Fucking can't wait to see what Alicia Silverstone does next. Oh, I can't wait.
One time I watched a movie called Scanners. Have you heard of this one?
No.
You have, because you reviewed, I think, all the Scanners movies maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Time is a fucking blur.
The Scanner Cop movies. I've watched those and heard of those.
Okay, well, Scanners is about, well, the world, I guess it's in the future or whatever, and there's people with telekinesis and telepathy, you know. They're like Jean Greys. They're all fucking Jean Greys. And this corporation, military, who knows, you know, security, you know, they're trying to get one in because there is a group of scanners that are, what are they doing? I don't know, corporate shit. What's it matter, right? That's just the ways of the world. But anyway, they don't like it because it's not them doing it. So they want to get this guy, this scanner, he would be their scanner, to go and infiltrate them, you know, and well, fuck, that's what he does. And it all fucking comes about pretty easily, you know, and turns out the scanner that he's after is his brother, and the guy that recruited him is his dad, and the guy that they did recruit, he can't act. He's just really deadpan throughout the movie. It's kind of weird. You got Michael Ironside in there just being all pissed and grumpy and everything, and heads exploding and veins forming on people's fucking heads and on their arms and shit. And I really like it. It's a movie that this one does have nostalgia for me, and I'll say I don't like it as much as I did as a kid because you know, it's okay. You know, it's got some plot issues, and it has not just the main guy. There's other actors in it that are just like, where the fuck did they find these people? You know, like hardly anybody can emote. You got Ironside, it's just fucking like chewing up the scenery, as they say. And then you had the guy from The Prisoner. He's pretty fucking good. But then he has a scene at the end that's like inexplicable, or before he's getting killed, he's just talking to himself, and that shit was kind of weird. But I think when I was a kid, it was just like all this weirdness. You know, I'd never seen anything like this before, and it was better than these straightforward movies that, you know, it's like, oh shit, you know, let's hop in this Millennium Falcon and, you know, go and fucking blow up this big old fucking ball. Yeah, I really like it, man. It's still good. I'm gonna move on and watch the ones that Cronenberg wasn't involved with, because I've never seen those. You know, Scanner 2s and Scanner 3, My Order or some shit. You know, yeah, Waitress, Where's My Order? I think that's what it's called, the next one. But and he would know that because he has this fucking telepathy.
So you were saying Michael Ironsides was chewing up the scenery?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how he got so fat?
Maybe, because he did get pretty fat, but, you know. That happens when you're old and don't do anything.
Speaking of which, I would like to apologize to the actor who played the fat kid in Black Pumpkins because I wasn't too articulate and I just kept saying the fat kid a bunch of times. And, I was thinking about that and that made me feel bad. So if you happen to see this actor who played the fat kid, sorry you were cast as a stereotypical fat kid in the movie, and that's what I referred to you as. Uh, I didn't mean anything by it besides trying to be funny, but I was thinking and realized you're a child, and that's not cool. I'm a goddamn adult, and what the fuck is wrong with me? So sorry about that, dog. My bad. I was just trying to be funny. My bad. We didn't get any letters or anything. I just generally felt bad about that shit. Because, contrary to popular belief, I'm not that big of a piece of shit.
It's weird the things you just sit up and think about at night, though, Tom.
I know. I
Fuck,
know.
that kid sees it.
I know. It's like, man, he's a fucking kid. I mean, sure, he was cast as a stereotypical fat kid, and that's why he kept saying it. But, I didn't say that in the review, and it's just like, this guy's a dickhead. Just keeps calling this fucking fat kid a fat kid. He's like, no, the character is the fat kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't say things right. 99% of the times when it comes to me.
What I read, because I did a lot of research on that one, Tom, is that he put that weight on for the movie. He's a method actor.
Oh, okay. It paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'd just like to apologize. No, I'm not going to do that because that would be even way more offensive. And you didn't laugh at that last joke. You might laugh at this one. I'm not going to, you will, because it's more offensive. Because you're the piece of shit, Joe. Oh, shit. Joe, I watched the hit motion picture Mr. Vampire. Have you heard of it?
I have. I mean, I don't have a $40 edition like that. I think mine was $12 or something, But yeah.
Well, I think this one was maybe a couple more than $12. I don't think I would blind buy a $40 edition of a movie. But Mr. Vampire. It's about let me say this. I watched the English American dub because there was like, I don't know, maybe Cantonese, Mandarin, English UK dub, and an English American dub. So I'm an American, so I watched the American dub.
Mhm.
And in this one, they call the vampire zombies. But I'm still going to refer to them as vampires. So in this one, there's a Ghostbuster or a spiritualist or an undertaker. I don't know, but he
All
has all of the above. And he has a couple interns, and they're watching over caskets. And then one of the interns plays a joke on the other, pretending he's a vampire. But then the other vampires come to life, and there's like a friend of the store who control the vampires, and he says, oh, they're my merchandise. But we never find out, like, what do you mean? Are you selling them for people to fuck or to scare people? What's going on? It doesn't matter. there's a fucking vampire going around town. So the Ghostbuster and his interns have to get the vampire, but then a ghost shows up. I don't know. The story was kind of hard to follow, but it doesn't matter because this isn't a horror movie. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, silly fucking Chinese humor. Just silly fucking shit. Aren't we all fucking goofy? Um, Very corny, very Three Stooges-esque, I guess. Uh no. Like, I got a couple laughs out of some of the jokes, but this hopping vampire shit just really isn't for me. The fighting shit was okay, but this was the first time watching one of these kung fu movies where I seen the fucking wires a few times. That doesn't help. It's just real corny and quaint, like those fucking Shaw Brothers movies. Uh, it was okay, but I'll never watch it again. It was fine. I don't know. I think I rated it higher than what I should have listening to myself talk about the movie, but there's some funny stuff there. It's just, I don't know. It's just a little too fucking corny and just, I don't give a shit about Three Stooges humor and shit. So if you're into Chinese fucking comedies and kung fu and shit, you've probably already seen this one.
It's a fun one, that's for sure.
If you're trying to get into that kind of shit, check this one out because it'll give you a good idea. And it's like one of the popular ones.
The old Sammo, he's a fat guy, but he's a fat guy with, athletic and ability and agility and all that shit.
I think that's Spooky Encounters. Was he in this one?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think there was a fat guy in it.
He's a little slimmer.
Okay.
But he's in it.
Yeah, again, I didn't hate it. I guess I kind of liked it because I got a couple chuckles and shit, but I won't watch it again. Hopefully somebody at the Houston Horror Film Festival Halloween market has a region-free Blu-ray player. Because it'll be in the old for sale box. Yeah, it was okay. Worth a watch, I guess, but just a little too fucking corny for me.
Tom, all you need is death. And that's the title of the movie that I watched. This is another one that I hadn't heard of at all. Hadn't seen anybody talking about it. And what did I watch it on? Shudder, AMC, one of those fucking things. This is an Irish movie, Tom, so they be talking like this. Well, not like that. They got a different weird accent. That one we watched last week that was in England? Was it last week? No, the week before. I thought that was Ireland throughout most of the movie. But it's not. This one is Ireland. And there's this couple, you see. And they're going around and trying to find old songs, Tom, old folk songs. Because there's some eccentrics. Are they fucking occultists or whatever? We don't know, but they find these songs. And then they'll try to take them to some rich dude will listen and I don't know if you can verify this one, lassie. So let me know when you find something with some verification or something. This is a variation of this and that. And so, God damn it, they're just trying to make a buck here and there, and they play in a band too, so they know a little bit about music. They go to this, I guess this class, this older lady, things, or that's all she talks about is these old mythic and folk songs. And, you know, the one that they found, they tell her about it. And she goes, well, where'd you find this? Well, I don't know. But this other guy told us about this old lady. Have you ever heard of her? She goes, well, yeah, that lady's dead. You know, so you probably won't be finding anything from her. Well, maybe they're talking about her daughter. Maybe. So they track down that town, you know, and they get somebody to take, you know, the local that knows her and say, oh, yeah, she's a fucking old drunk. And she is. And they get there, and that teacher lady's already there, Tom. She's already there. She fucking bamboozled them, trying to get the slip, you know. This lady, you know, in between taking a slug of, you know, her rot gut whiskey that she's drinking, she tells me, yeah, well, here's one you've never heard. It was passed down from me, ma'am. And it was passed down from her, ma'am. You know, and this is, you, lad, you got to leave the room. This is not a song for men. And he's got to leave. She's like, can't write this one. Can't record it. You can't do anything. The girl promises, okay, I won't. She starts singing this song. And while she's singing, it's flashing back to the ancient times, you know, when these white people would paint their faces blue and, you know, wear horns and stuff. You know, we just see glimpses of that. And they're taking off, and yeah, didn't record it, but that other teacher lady did, Tom. She recorded that shit. And they're like, hey, we want some of that money too. We were there. And then some fucking weird ghosts come and kill the old lady. And they're shitty looking ghosts. It's just like black splotches, you know, just like, I don't know. It just looks real bad, like real bad. But that's okay because they never explain them anyway. You know, it's like, it's a throwaway shit. But anyway, this song, what it does, it like puts men under a thrall. You know, and the old lady uses it to steal the boyfriend, you know, but like now all he wants to do is fuck. Like he can't live for anything else. Just like, hey, that's all he wants to do is fuck. And yep. But the old lady's son, he's coming. He wants revenge, you know, but he's trying to figure out the song too, and he's getting fucked over by it. And then the old gods are coming back because of this song and shit. And everybody's fucked over by the end. And I fucking liked it. Yeah, this is the cool kind of folk horror, as they call it now. That yeah, it'll be in volume 9 probably of all the Haunts VR's box set, and it deserves a place there. You know, I really like it. If you're into these kind of movies, this is a fucking good one. Yeah, I put it on a list, and it's not for you, Tom. It is definitely not something you would enjoy, but anybody else out there, you see, you're into this kind of shit, this one's fucking top of the line. At least I think so.
Let me ask you a question there, Joe.
No, they didn't bust in when they saw the old lady, and said, sing me a song, you're a singer. But that would have been really cool.
Why is that?
Because it would have been a good reference. Oh.
To what?
To better times.
To the good old days. Oh, well, let me ask you something there, Joe.
Sure, Tom.
You like movies with titles that make you think, huh, it's kind of dumb?
I do.
Nice. Let me ask you this then, Joe.
Hmm?
You ever see the hit motion picture Hauntedween?
I have, Tom.
What'd you think of it?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. This movie, like, it starts off with a 10-minute what would you call this? Like a prelude to the movie?
Sure.
Okay, with this little kid that he's an autism, and he wants to work in a haunted house, man.
Are you saying this because he was reading Famous Monsters?
Yes, yes. It was either say he's an autism or he's a monster kid, and I don't want to say the MK word. It's very
And Mortal Kombat.
so. They tell him, no, man. When you're older, maybe you can work inside. He's fuck it.
Yeah, so old Eddie Berber, there's a Berber family haunted house, and they have old Eddie, the autism, as Joe calls him. He's wearing his sweet monster mask, reading a copy of Famous Monsters, and he's taking people's money as they come into the haunt. They drive up in their car, give this kid money, and don't beat the shit out of him because they know he has pockets full of money. But this kid, man, he just wants to work in the haunt and scare people, but he's too young. So you have to stay out there and handle all the money, young boy.
Some of them are really good at math. That's just a thing. And some of them have the strength of 10 men. You know, so it makes sense to me.
So old Eddie, he says, enough of this. I'm going to work in the haunt. So he puts the close sign up or whatever he does on the gate, folds up his little chair, and makes the trek towards the house. And there's a guy sitting outside. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up and get so scared your pubic hairs will fall off. So Eddie, little Eddie, starts talking to this guy, and this guy's just all of a sudden, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of a meek, scared guy, afraid of getting beat. So I'm just, I'm just gonna leave now, I guess. All right, see you later, Eddie. And does he go in the house and kill somebody? Does a murder accidentally happen, or does an accident happen to where a little girl gets hurt? Yeah, but after this little girl is maybe accidentally impaled on a spike, he gets an erection and just chops this girl's head off. And then we flash forward to however many years later.
There's minutes, and then a hand reaches for him. We gotta go.
That's right.
We here.
Yeah, that's right. His mom takes him off into the woods to fucking.
Call it in Kentucky.
They sure do, Joe. They sure do. So old Ma and son go off into the holler and live their lives until Ma dies. So then old Eddie says, enough of this. So he packs up the corpse and heads back to the old Berber family haunt.
We're going home, Mama.
They say you can't go home. But old Eddie did. That's right. And then for the next 50 minutes or so, we got like a Porky style comedy where it's kids in a frat doing college shit, talking all kinds of unbelievable shit.
No, so like there's that one guy, one character that has that outrageous accent. He's not making that shit up. I've been to Kentucky several times. There's people that talk exactly like that fucking guy there.
Surprisingly, I was able to understand everything he said.
Yeah, it's the realest shit in the movie. It turns into one of these movies. So, oh shit, we gotta save the frat house. We gotta raise money, and they throw a little party, but they're spending money on booze and fucking bands to play, and it's like, you can't make money like that, And this is before Kickstarters or GoFundMe's, so they didn't have that to rely on. But yeah, it just deals with like the head of the frat and the problems he's having with his girlfriend because He's paying more attention to the frat than her, you know.
Bros before hoes. I mean, bros before hoes, Joe.
And well, if you ain't gonna give it to me, I'll find someone that will.
Yeah, that fucking lady's voice was strangleable for sure. Jeez Louise. So, anyways, old Eddie, he shows up to the fucking frat and he's just like, hey, I have keys to the old Berber house. How about you put a haunt there and keep the money? So they do. They get the old college, they give it the old college try, Joe. They refuculate the house, make it all spooktacular and
Full mind
excuse me.
scene with the music playing while they're fixing everything up, and you know,
You
they're all
got shirtless dickhead just chugging beers.
Mhm.
They're I don't know what the fuck they were frying on that grill. It looked like skinned gerbils or some shit. They called Richard Gere over, punched him in the stomach, and he shot out fucking dinner. But yeah, they're frying up some kind of fucking wacky shit. And they open up the house. And of course, fucking little Eddie, he's an eccentric Michael Myers, and all he wanted to do was come home and work in the haunted house. So he's working in the haunted house, killing people for real. And you got just people like, oh yeah, this is great. There's this one fucking dickheaded fuck. He stole the movie. He has these shitty glasses, a shitty mullet, a shitty mustache, and he'll just, yeah, hang the bastard. He's
Mhm.
fucking terrific and the reason to watch the movie. But yeah, after that, it's just people realizing that, oh my god, these murders are actually happening. And then fucking old Eddie drives away in a van that explodes. And after the van explodes, he still drives away on this on fire shell of a fucking van. And it was pretty awesome because it sucked so much ass that they thought that was how they end their movie. They got a thumbs up from this fat dickhead.
I'll tell you, man. I thought the opening sequence, I didn't think that was bad at all. I thought, holy shit, this is, it's setting a tone here. It's setting a vibe. You can tell it's cheap as fuck, but this might work. And then it turns into a frat movie for a fucking hour.
But then you get back to the fun Halloween stuff, and you're just like, if it was all like this, sure, you can add the frat stuff, but get to the haunted house stuff sooner. And maybe a kid or two gets killed while they're making the haunted house. And
Yeah. Add something to remind people, oh, you're watching a horror movie along the way. But yeah, when he was having a good time performing, you know, I thought that was kick ass. I thought that shit was great, even though the kills look fucking awful. But I think
that's kind of the charm.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, that made it that much better. You know?
I mean, it's spooktacular and worth checking out around Halloween time. Just know you're gonna have like a fucking titty comedy for 50 fucking minutes.
But the rest of it, it's a haunted house in on a Hauntedween. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I would say, luckily it's on Blu-ray, so you can check it out. But no, it's part of a box set that you got to get with, I'm sure, a bunch of other fucking movies. And
Yeah.
is this one worth getting on their own for the price that it is? Probably not.
If it's in a box set, no. It is
Yeah.
on Tubi. You can make sure the rights holders, I don't know if the director's still with us or whatever, but make sure they get their 2 cents, literally, for, each watch or whatever.
But yeah, it's worth checking out if you've never seen it and you're looking for some spooktacular shit around Halloween. Check it out for sure. But again, just know it's like bookend with Halloween shit. So I mean the fucking titty boner comedy, whatever, it's not terrible. I mean, it's fine. It's not like, oh, this shit is terrific,
It's
but
not funny. That's
no,
the
I mean, but it's fine.
yeah. I mean, it's tolerable. It's something you can like. Let me put this on pause and come back in 30 minutes.
Nothing you haven't seen before a bunch of times, but I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. But this probably should have been more horror
Mhm.
movie. Is
Agreed.
what it is. Let me look at the old list here because I think you are out, right? All right, let me take another hit of this, lubricate the old pipes, and whew, talk about this one. So it's the spooktacular season, Joe. I was trying to get us all primed up to be spooktacular. And I think this might be the most spooktacular pumpkin movie we've done out of the three. The last one, I mean, it was Halloween and trick or treating and stuff, but I think this one a little more so. The Pumpkin Man, the hit motion picture Pumpkin Man, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Kerbis. What could be said about old Kerbis besides your name sucks and they should have picked anything else besides Kerbis? If you're trying to make a spooky movie with a scary horror monster, maybe don't call it something cute and cuddly like Kerbis. That would that would probably help, but what's the deal with old Kirby anyways? I'll tell you. So he's an ancient spooktacular demon we see like old-timey times. A lady, she's in a shitty Lincoln style cabin. She probably has fucking awful lanterns lit. She's doing something dumb. It turns out she was summoning Spooky Kirby. So Kirby's following her around old timey, and she's just like, you know what? I was gonna say, oh, you know what, mate? But I mean, they didn't really talk like that in old timey times. But long story short, you want to get rid of Kerbis, you summon him, kill yourself or die, whatever. So she slices her throat, but before that, she digs like maybe, I don't know, a good 2-3 inches out of the dirt,
If that.
puts the book in the dirt, the Necronomicon or whatever royalty free version of that book there is, and just kind of does that to cover it up so no one will see it and cuts her neck. And then, fucking, however, hundreds of years later, some children's is going to
Look,
find this book.
she's fleeing from the Pumpkin Man.
From who?
The Pumpkin Man, old
Who?
She's carrying her plastic battery operated lantern. And
But you're not supposed to know that because it's.
yeah, it's old times. I get it. And she runs past somebody's fence line. Maybe they did make fences back in olden times exactly.
They weren't chain link.
Who knows? I don't, I'm not an expert on the times, but fast forward because I'm more knowledgeable about modern times.
So little goofy bitch, like this main actress, she looks very young,
Mm-hmm.
but she has a tattoo on her back, and she's wearing like clothes that I'm not a dad. I've never had kids, don't know. Probably wearing clothes that people that age shouldn't wear. And just like I said, she looks young, but her boyfriend, her love interest, looks a lot fucking older than she does. So this movie gets really fucking weird and kind of like, what are we doing here? A little creepy. So yeah, they this sucks. Sorry, spoiler alert. I thought it sucked. Okay. So old goofy bitch or young goofy bitch, she has her fucking friend. They go to like, oh, the Kerbis Spooktacular tour. But goofy bitch already knows all this shit. She's like, "Pfft, this lady sucks. She's not a tour guide. I know everything. Let's walk to the concession stand or where they keep the old shit. Oh my God, we just happened to find this spooky scroll that'll bring Kerbis to life. And then there's the fucking worst actor you've ever seen in your life playing a cop in a fucking police station that's actually somebody's house. God damn. This shit sucks. Luckily, no one in this movie can act, so that was fun. Um, so yeah, Kerbis is romping around. The cop, which is her fucking brother, even though their moms are white. This is like the craziest fucking. You thought that shit in the Deliverance was crazy. Like, what's she doing with that white mama? This is like much older white mamas than the kids probably should be. And they're Mexican, by the way. Or some kind of Hispanics, the lead lady and her brother, who's the cop. So, anyways, all these killings are happening. They think it's the goofy bitch, but it's really the Kerbis. And Kerbis is kind of like a Freddy Krueger, spooky pumpkin man, kinda. He's just a guy in a silicone mask. I think it's CFX who might have made that mask, but it's just like an off the shelf silicone mask guy walking around on stilts.
Built.
A lot of it takes place at a haunt, but no one's really ever there.
It seemed very sparse, this hunt.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Like the age difference between these two characters, and she's trying to be like this young girl, and I'm pretty sure at one part there's like a fucking under boob shot, and I'm just like, I don't know what this is supposed to be. This is either some fucking pervert shit or a young kid who was fucking confused and didn't realize this shit would come off weird. It's somewhere in between Goosebumps and a slasher movie, which is kind of a weird place to be because you're using like some actual child actors and others are older than they're supposed to be playing. And it just comes off kind of fucking weird. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, saying, oh, it was just a young person and they weren't thinking about that kind of shit, but comes off kind of fucking weird.
Um, so to me, yeah, that it seemed like it was made for high school students, and it seemed to me like it was made by a high school student. Uh, there's some of the dialogue where they're talking to each other, and it's like, fuck, that actually sounds like the way kids talk to each other. And yeah, so I'd say most of them, not including that one guy, they looked like they were the right age for the roles they were playing, which that's fucking rare.
But sure, until you see in a couple shots that lady, not a child, but that lady has that tattoo on her back, and it's
Hey,
just
well,
like,
missed that because confession, Tom, this movie didn't have my full attention. You know, I can't say I wasn't like, yeah, let me fucking see, you know. But it wasn't the worst, but I never want to fucking watch it again. You know,
yeah.
worst thing about it was Corvus himself. Like when
Who?
Curvis.
That's right. Kerbis, the spooky pumpkin man.
So whenever he came on the scene, I was like, who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah, and sometimes he just inhabits other pumpkin things and talks through it. And again, no
Yeah.
one can act.
And he's trying to play on their fears or shit that they're into. One guy's real into podcasts. So Corvus.
Yeah, it's just like out of nowhere, this guy would be like, hey, shut up, everybody. This new podcast dropped, and Spooky Kerbis is talking to me through it.
Yeah. They tried a lot of shit, but it didn't work. But it's definitely better than a lot of the other independent shit that's around this time or even now that I see.
They tried to make it spooktacular. They did a little bit of spooktacular lighting and shit, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of fucking lame and weird.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a no for me, dog.
I mean, save your money on those drone shots and rent some police uniforms or something, you know?
Yeah, or just shoot anywhere besides your house to make it a police station.
Or even the classroom. You
That
know,
was also the house.
you can easily get use of a classroom.
I mean, you can easily get anything that doesn't look like a fucking house.
Hmm.
Like, you know what fucking bedroom doors look like. There's only a couple styles. You know what classroom doors look like. Two totally different fucking things. You can't have this baby blue house with a white door with white trim looking out like, oh yeah, that's a classroom slash police station if I've ever seen one. Like they tried, there's some stuff that looks good, but it's kind of lame and who cares? Kerbis. 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 He's gonna fucking throw a hook through my back now that it's Beetlejuice. I don't know. I guess he's gonna try and make me marry him or some shit now. I don't know. Whatever. Joe, I hope you're gonna hit us with some fucking spooktacular shit.
No, no. Actually, I am. I got 3 movies all set on Halloween's. And the first one, Tom, is going to be The Clown Murders from 1976. And this one can be seen on Prime. We're going to follow that up with Teen Alien. And that's all one word, Tom. Don't put a space between it, or you won't find it on your searches on YouTube. And then finally, we're going to close it out with 1982 Trick or Treats.
Is this Sammy Kerr?
No,
No.
no. This is Trick or Treats, plural.
Oh no. So this isn't the fucking rock and roll guy?
No,
All right. It's spooktacular though.
it is a set on Halloween. I any of these movies, so
You haven't seen any of them?
mm-mm.
All right. Well, hopefully they're all fucking spooktacular, more so than these fucking pumpkin movies. So what do you think we fared better with, Joe? Sharks or pumpkins?
I would say the pumpkins.
None of them were.
No, but hey, we watched them. We reviewed them.
Yeah.
There was shit to talk about. Oh, before we go, Spider-Man's the Vulture plays poker.
I forgot all about that shit. No rocks were thrown in this issue.
Oh,
Oh, shit. Shout out to FGP. Shout out to Kyle. Geeky Hoodie, hello. And I think we had the fucking Horde cast in here. Shout out to them guys for some reason. I can't scroll up. It did now, but yeah, everybody appreciate you. Maybe sometime we'll be back on Facebook. If not, maybe we can just get everybody to go to the YouTube, and maybe one of these days you'll see a Mazda commercial on this.
I'll try that other thing next time.
What's that other thing?
That login through Facebook.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work, but I mean, we can try.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that might thinking about it now. I think the first one I sent you was an admin link, so that might work.
Yeah, it might have showed it on my page, if not the BOYGOB page.
For sure. But fuck it. We're here. We appreciate you guys checking this shit out. Be it live on the edited version or the chopped up and clipped version, I should say, on the podcast feed, or if you're some kind of fucking immigrant using us to learn English. Terrific. So yeah, this is this. That was that. Again, thank you guys. Hopefully we'll be back next week. FastCustomShirts.com, DWNProductions.net. BOYGOB.
Thanks for checking out the show. We hope you dug it, baby. If so, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and let us know down below. Support Tom and Joe by heading over to DWNProductions.net and FastCustomShirts.com.